Hey everybody, Randall Cornett here. I hope you guys are having a great day. Wanted to take a second before we get into the information to thank True Demon again for coming on, doing that last interview with me. The feedback was absolutely incredible, and we managed to break 10,000 subscribers. So thank you guys, all of the apes that tune into my channel and enjoy the information. I really appreciate you guys. I wouldn't be doing this if it were not for you. That being said, we did accomplish one good thing out of that video. Outside of the information, we did make a recommendation that Stonko Tracker should be tracking short exempt volume. And these guys they're men of the people. They added it. We now have short exempt volume that we could track on Stonko Tracker, which is going to give you guys a really good idea to see like how the numbers fluctuate, and you guys can back test this with kind of some of True Demon's theories. So that being said, we're going to jump into the dark pool data for today. We'll take a look at that, and I got a few updates, so we'll jump right into it. Again, I'm going to preface, if you guys enjoy the content, like it, drop a subscription, you know, all that good stuff, and we'll jump right into it. So today, obviously not as high as what we've been before in the past. 69.7% of the volume, the overall volume today was done in the dark pool. That was 33 million in overall volume. When we break this down and we look at this on the minute by minute volume, we see some 83% in there. That's incredibly high. Anything over, really, to be honest with you, anything like over 50 is stupid high in my opinion. But we're obviously, I didn't see anything in the 90s that really caught my attention. We got 85%, 83%. On a minute by minute basis, that is still insane. 69.7% of the volume was done in the dark pool. And then let's look at the actual dark pool and block trade. So obviously you'll see the date here on the right. There was no large prints that came in for today. If we're looking at this from an only dark pool perspective, which is everything in blue, the last print was on the 21st. So now I know you guys are saying, well, Randall, if we only see one print on the 21st, how is all this dark pool volume happening? Well, remember, dark pool trades are not really reported, quote unquote, to the tape, right, until they're finished. So you still might see all that volume, but until the trade is actually closed out, you will not see that print. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of maybe why you don't see the prints immediately that translate or go hand in hand with the volume. So the last print that we did have was on the 21st at 6.86 million. Pretty significant in my opinion. Still a lot of volume, and obviously they're routing all of our orders there, and those orders are not being closed out. But now something that is interesting. So let's just say if I pull this chart to all, so what's in blue is dark pool, okay? What is in white, those are institutional trades. So it doesn't mean that it's necessarily dark pool, but it could still be like OTC. It could be not on the lit exchanges still, but there's a little bit more transparency in those markets. So today we did have a rather large block, 8.76 million in value. Okay, they bought it when the stock was at $39.92. 219,000 shares, really big block. And then yesterday, one very similar, 288,000 shares. They bought it when it was at $38.32. I will leave this up here for a second so you guys can see some of these. And like I said, these are usually institution to institution style of trade. So there is some big whales that are trading kind of behind the scenes. Again, though, I won't really classify this as dark pool. This is more like VWAP trading, things like that. But still very interesting nonetheless. There are some big whales that are playing in our stock here. And so I'm curious to see what the impacts of those will have over the next couple of days. It's nothing new. These guys have been doing this for a long time. Like if you go back and look at these dates all the way, you know, back into January. Oh, something interesting too. I knew I made a note I wanted to show you guys. So if we want to look at the size, right? Let's look at the value of some of these prints throughout like historically, okay? So we have one print here on June 10th. There was a print that came through at $44 million. They bought, you know, 1 million shares of AMC, which is pretty incredible. I would like to know who that is and what their intent is. We're probably seeing some of the impacts of those still to this day. But that's the large, actually, no, it's not. On June 17th, there was a $79 million print. Bought 1.4 million worth or in shares. So actually 1.4 million shares that were purchased. again, we know that there's a chance that those are actually our buys going through that are getting filled, that we're seeing, that are, again, when you have people that are, or apes that are unaware that they're on payment for order flow brokers, there's a lot of those things. Is a crazy volume day, which I believe the 17th was, there's a good chance that a lot of it's what we're seeing is like our orders that are getting filled there. Really unfortunate, but we're exposing the shit out of that. I mean, we're doing a great job. There's another dark pool suspension or suspended is trending today, and that's all good stuff. Like, we're shedding light where it needs to be shed, and then we're seeing like people like Gary Gensler actively getting on Twitter. I think that the heat is kind of on where they have to make some moves. So that's about all I have for the dark pool and block trades. I did want to show you guys some option stuff as well. So just to the date for today. So just for today, there was 79,618 contracts, which is 66% of the contracts that were traded today had bullish sentiment behind it. $15 million in value. The other side of that trade, the bearish, option purchases, was 41,000. So nowhere near where we were at on the bullish side of things. It accounted for 34% of the trades, $8 million in notional value. So if we want to look, I sorted this graph by, that you guys are seeing on the screen, right? I sorted this graph by putting the notional value, number one at the top, but also the strike price. So the two most bullish options that were purchased today, we have, both of them are December 17th, and both of them are at $120 strike price. So 32,000 and 31,000. Could be the same person, because obviously it's a sweep order, which is meaning they're going to as many different exchanges to get it filled as quickly as they can. And so that's why you see two different exchanges here. They just got those orders filled. So why they separated them in two different orders, I don't know. They did it at different prices too. So it may not be the same person. It could actually be somebody like trying to quote unquote follow the money, right? And follow this trade around and mimicked it rather closely. And then obviously you're going to see some of this bearish stuff, but that's just because I sorted it by strike price. But obviously if we come down to the bottom of the chain, lots of open interest around 45, 44, 40. So the options chain, though, regardless, what I want you guys to take away, it's a very bullish looking options chain. And I do expect that to help us. And obviously I'm going to say this, since we're talking about options, I know a lot of you guys like to take those gambles, but I can't stress enough that if you have no practice or no real knowledge of how options work, and you're just buying these lottery tickets week after week, just remember that every time you lose out on those premiums, you're giving ammo to the hedge funds, right? You're giving ammo for them to use against us. So if you're just, my personal recommendation is, if you're unaware of what's going on, and I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but to make sure you're really considering what you're doing, right? Most people, unless you know what you're doing, are probably not making a ton of money on options, right? And again, if you fail to hit on those, you're kind of just giving ammo to the hedge funds. So that's about it in terms of the options chain. So we're looking bullish there. And then I wanted to show you guys some of the bigger institutional buyers. So I pulled this import from Blackrock funds. So this is Blackrock, and it looks like they have purchased another 448,000 shares. Looks like we're sitting at 1.1 million. Actually, no, that's 11 million. Sorry. And it's a long position, right? They marked it as a long position. So BlackRock kind of upping the ante, looking to put more eggs in their basket. Again, that's bullish to me. That's the way I take it. And then we're looking over here at Fidelity. This is a Fidelity import, and they own a trust/fund as well. And in their fund, they purchased up another 579,000 shares, which is, those are big numbers. Those are big blocks. So again, bullish, they mark their position as a long position as well. So that's some good news that I'll end the video on. So that should make you guys excited. I'm absolutely excited. I'm seeing some really good, strong stuff that shows me that we're headed in the direction that I believe that we all think that we're headed in. So with that being said, we'll end the video there. I hope that you guys enjoyed the daily update, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Love you long time. Peace.